going to talk about meditation for a few minutes and then practice some meditation. So commonly what us yoga teachers and meditation practitioners hear is, I can't meditate, my mind kind of travels too fast and it just won't stop. I don't find it relaxing. We also hear the same thing from people who know that yoga would be good for them, but one of the things they say is, I can't do yoga, I'm not flexible enough. So the reason I bring both up is because they're very similar. So we can all benefit from meditation, and for some people it comes a little more natural than others. But for the people who say, I just can't, it's so hard, those are the people who need it more. And on the yoga side of it, it's the same deal. Those who are inflexible, tight muscles, I am one of those people. I don't know what I would do without a yoga practice. I know that if I didn't do yoga regularly, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I can do now. I can jog and bike and do things that I know just 10 years ago caused me a lot of pain. And I'm going to go on and on a little bit here, but I think it's very useful information. So the whole Instagram yoga thing where you see people looking absolutely perfect in their poses and their leg goes way up to here, that's not what we're striving for. We're striving to make our bodies feel better when we get off the mat. So everything we do on the mat is not so that we look great and we can do a certain pose. It's so that we can do better at life, physically, emotionally, mentally. So the yoga part of it kind of does a little both, right? We get stronger, we get more flexible, we get more patient, we start to know ourselves a little better because yoga involves a lot of inward looking, but meditation takes that to a whole other level. So we don't meditate on our mats to feel peaceful on our mats. In fact, when we're meditating, sometimes, to be blunt, it kind of sucks. You know, we are turning inward and sometimes what we find in there isn't pleasant, and that's okay. So the point is not to find peace right here. It's so that when we get off of our cushion and we get out into the world, we're able to just do life better. So what happens when we sit down and we're like, wow, what do I do? Where do I start? I get that a lot. I feel that way many times. What am I gonna do today? So in this situation here, where we are in the middle of a quarantine, I've been talking to so many people about their situations and what's coming up. For some people, this quarantine is easy, and I say that in the way that a lot of people are introverts and like being home, and they are okay turning inward. It's something they do often anyway. For people who busy themselves and try to avoid turning inward, man, this quarantine is hard, especially if you are social and you get your energy from being around other people. This could be a really, really tough time for people like that. So what I want to practice today is just noticing what has come up recently, because we've really been woken up from a dream. You know, this idea that we have control of our lives has kind of been thrown in our face like, yeah, you think you have control, right? So here we are in a situation we've never been in before, and that does do something. It goes, boom, wow, like what's up, what's down, where do I fit in space and time? So as we turn inward today in our meditation, really starting to see what comes up, because for the people who look often, we kind of get we get used to looking at the same things over and over again, and this situation is going to shake things up and some new things may rise up. For those of us who busy ourselves, I can be both people. We're going to turn inward sometimes and be like, wow, I've never seen that before. So I'm going to go on just a little bit longer before we meditate, not too much longer. So when you're having a bad day and a situation is bothering you, something happens in your household, and you feel like, I am way more triggered than I should be in this situation, that's a great time to just turn inward. And I would say 90% of the time, maybe more, you can pinpoint that trigger to something that happened a long time ago. And the nice thing about finding that, it kind of just, you turn inward and it's like your inner being remembers, you know? So you turn inward and you find that, and just finding it and having that answer, and then having compassion for yourself and saying, gosh, no wonder I acted like that. This happened to me before. And then taking time to just send love to yourself and let whatever that was go, because now you're bigger and you have more life experience. So you can look at that past hurt, see it with different eyes, understand how it affected your present, and then let it go. So that's kind of what we're doing with meditation. We're turning inward, we're watching, we're learning, we're cultivating our mind, understanding ourselves, and we're creating all these new pathways in our brain, using more of our brain, and finding more peace, okay? So I've said enough now. I hope that helps. We're gonna move into meditation now, and if you wanna do this meditation again, you can just fast forward right past all my chit chat there. So really important is to sit up tall. So have your knees lower than your hips, a nice tall spine, shoulders are up and back, and close your eyes. And we'll start with some nice deep breathing just to relax the body. So feeling like you're breathing in through your nose, down your throat, into your lungs, and the lungs fill from the bottom up like big balloons, and they don't just expand forward. So think of your lungs expanding front, side, and back. And then as you exhale, exhale a little longer than feels natural, just to get all that air out, so your next breath is full and deep with brand new oxygen coming in. We'll do about 5 cycles of this breath. And now after your next exhale, come to the natural rhythm of your breath, so not forcing anything, just let your body breathe. Notice your seated position, and if you've lost any of the length in your spine, root down into your sitting bones to grow tall once again. Nice. And now just do a scan of your body, so starting from the top of your head, down your face. Make sure the eyes are softly closed and not tight. Maybe move your jaw around, making sure your jaw is not clenching. That's something we probably are all doing a little more if you have a tendency to do that when you're stressed. Take your tongue from the roof of your mouth and let it sit gently in the bottom half of your mouth. Relax your shoulders, even your belly, hips are heavy. Nice. And now from here, imagine looking out through your third eye. So that's just the space between your eyebrows. And then we just watch what comes in. So we are the watcher of our own thoughts. A thought comes, you see it, you let it pass by. Maybe there's a little space between the breath and the thought, the next thought, and the next breath. To your breath and just notice if your thoughts have turned into a chain of related thoughts. We call that making a story. And then come back to having each singular thought separate from the next. Start to be aware if one particular thought or a person keeps reoccurring in your meditation. If that's the case, take a moment to dive a little deeper into that subject. Anger arises, imagine the analogy of holding on to a hot coal and imagining another person, the person who hurt you, getting burned. When we hold on to anger, we're not hurting them, we're hurting ourselves. So now transforming that anger into loving kindness. Can we send loving and compassionate thoughts to a situation or a person that is causing us any sort of discomfort now? May they be happy, may they be well, may they be peaceful. Even sometimes feeling gratitude for difficult people and difficult situations, because sometimes they are the Buddha in disguise, helping us grow and learn. Taking that whole package of what we just talked about, a person or an uncomfortable situation, repackaging it in a peaceful and kind, loving package, and then imagine it floating away. Feeling gratitude for the lessons and strength learned. And understanding that we are all doing the best we can in any given situation. Coming back to being present in your body, feel your breath. You may feel heating or cooling just below the nostrils. Re-engage a nice tall seated position. Come back to your third eye gaze and continue to watch what comes in, see it, and let it go. And if something else continues to nag, do what we did before, dive deeper, look at it, try to wrap it in a little more love and compassion, and let it go. Sometimes we need to do this multiple times for one situation or one person. Return to a deeper breath, just like we did at the beginning, breathing in through the nose, taking that breath deep down into the lungs and finding a nice expansive breath, and exhaling completely out through the nose. Do that a few more times on your own. Returning to the natural rhythm of the breath, just bring your hands to your heart center and take a a moment to really feel present in your body. So feel whatever parts of your body are touching the floor or a cushion. Really feel that. Feel the light or darkness on your eyes. The temperature of the air on your skin, even maybe between the little hairs on your arms. Feel your heart beating. And take a moment to set an intention for your day, for this moment, for your life, for someone else in your life. Anything that resonates with you now. And then bow in to honor that. Sitting up tall again, release your hands and blink your eyes open. And thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope that it was helpful, and I'll see you again in another video.